in today, and we're going to be talking about another interesting show about corruption in the church and corruption in our government. And this is just not restricted in the United States, but we're talking about corruption in the church worldwide, corruption in the government worldwide. Where today we got two interesting characters for you today. And on the church side, we're going to take a look at a lady that everyone is familiar with. Her name is Paula White. Paula White has been around for many, many years, and she's out of the state of Florida. And so we're going to see even within God's church, that there is corruption. And we have discovered that there are three main things that corrupt individuals: power, sex, and money. Doesn't matter if you got a Christian label on you or not, you still are susceptible to the vials of the enemy. Because 1 Timothy 6:10 says the love of money is the what? Root of all evil. So let's take a look at this Christian woman, Paula White, and please understand me that when we do go on the wrong road, that we do get back on the right road. But what we're trying to get you to see is that don't think that just because you walk up into a church that it is incorruptible. A lot of these churches are corrupt. So let's take a look at Paula White and let's see how she got corrupted a few years ago. On August 23rd, 2007, Randy and Paula White were co-pastors of Without Walls International. It was a charismatic mega church based in Tampa, Florida. They announced that they were divorcing after 17 years of marriage. Isn't that amazing? You know, you get preachers up in the pulpit and they want to preach to us all the time about, marriage, your marriage vows, you should stay together. But here we having it. Even a Christian woman and a Christian man, they got a what? Divorce after 17 years of marriage. And they were going in two different directions. And that is sin on both their parts. God says that the wife is the husband helpmeet, and she is to be the keeper of the home, according to Titus 2:4 and 5. So let's take a look and see about a little backdrop of Paula White. I didn't know this. Listen to this. Randy spent months commuting to Malibu, California, where he had a beachfront home. Paula, who was a preacher and a motivational speaker, she made speaking trips to San Antonio, where she had recently purchased a home and was an oversight pastor to the Family Praise Center. She also traveled frequently to New York City, where she has a Trump Tower condo. Did you know that Paula White is our current president's spiritual advisor? Wow, talk about moving up, huh? She has moved up from the church right into the government. Talk about church and government in the bed together. So let's take a look and see what happened here. In 2007, September, when Paula appeared on the Carmen Show on the TBN network, she was greeted with a loud applause. She told the enthusiastic crowd some of the greatest development in the men and women of God were those in adverse situations. I wonder what happened when she came through her divorce after 17 years. Let's take a look. In May of 2007, there was an article in the Tampa Tribune. It included statements by former Without Walls staff members that used to work for Paula White. They testified that the Whites had shifted their focus to money and fame. They preach a charismatic prosperity message and they live lavishly. Also, their home in Tampa was valued, get this, at $2.22 million. This was in 2007. I could imagine what is valued now. Get this, they have a condo in New York, and it was valued at $3.5 million. Are y'all seeing this? How can the church privately have all of this money when the people in the church is living poor? So here's an example of the church right there with all of this money coming in from the poor of you, and there is what? Corruption. Even they past members admitted that that's what they was about. the money, and the fame. All right, then, stay tuned. We're going to bring you the other side of this corruption story, and we're going to show you on the government side. All right, then, we're going to switch over now. I don't know if you heard of this gentleman. His name is Todd Bentley. Todd Bentley well, Todd, no, he was a church leader, but we're going to go now to a government official, and his name was Edward Nolan. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but we're going to go way back. And even corruption in the government goes all the way back. It's not just happening today, but we're going to find out that there was a man born in 1926. His name was Edward Nolan, and he was from Jackson County, Missouri, and he's a Democrat. And he was the Missouri State Treasurer in 1889 to 1890. He resigned in 1890. In March of 1890, get this, y'all, 1890, following reports of his drunkenness and gambling, his accounts were investigated. He was short $32,000. It was discovered that he had been embezzling the money where he worked as a state treasurer. Are y'all seeing this? This is back in the 1890s. We're talking 30 years after the Civil War, and there is what? Corruption. So he was embezzling, and he was tried in 1891, and guess what? They convicted him. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison. He died June 26, 1926. That was Edward Nolan. All the way back in the late 1890s, there was corruption where? In the government. He was a treasurer. If anyone you think is going to watch your money is going to be someone that's a treasurer. But they're the ones that's stealing it. All right then, so as you can see, going all the way back, bringing it up to date, there is corruption still right here in the church and the government. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss us. We're going to be bringing some more of these fascinating stories. I'm Minister Love. Thank you for joining us right here at the Bible Talk Show. Goodbye.
Good.